Today, I'm going to be sharing some of the little annoyances and frustration I have from a personal perspective about living in Spain. From the things you would expect to a few surprises. So let's talk about the not so perfect side of life in Spain. Yes, watch out with me because it's gonna be juicy.
Travel, wonder, wonder, 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 travel, wonder, wonder.
Nomads.
Deepest condolences to all who were affected by the recent flood in the whole of Spain, especially the Valencia community, where a lot of people lost their lives and many are still missing. My heart goes out to each one of you out there. But in this video, I'm going to be spilling out truths. Yes, the things I actually dislike, or should I say hate, about living in this country called Spain. So the things I hate or dislike about living in Spain. Spain is absolutely beautiful. I've been living in this country for a while now, and it's honestly amazing. It's an amazing place, but there are definitely few things that drive me a bit loco. Crazy. And while I love Spain, I love the culture, I love the people, I love everything. Today, I'm going to be sharing some of the little annoyances and frustration I have from a personal perspective about living in Spain. From the things you would expect to a few surprises. So let's talk about the not so perfect side of life in Spain. Yes. So if this is your first time to my channel, I welcome you. Please do well to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up because it's gonna be juicy.
But it is juicy, real juicy.
Well, I am coughing because I'm about to spill the first thing that actually annoys me living in this country. While I love it here, the first up thing I don't like about this beautiful country is the smoking culture. Yeah, you heard me right. Smoking has been a bit a kind of culture in Spain. My coming to Spain was like a culture shock, and you often find people smoking at outdoor cafes and in the shops, on the road, and sometimes even on the beach. And even in the restaurant. The height of it was when I went to a restaurant and we were just trying to eat and somebody was just there smoking. Yes, so even if the smoking laws have tightened up, it's really common to catch somebody smoking a whiff and you're just inhaling the cigarette. I think most persons feel that everybody smokes, and a number of persons think that everybody smokes, but then it's not everybody that likes the smoking culture. So if you're sensitive like me, somebody like me that doesn't like smoking, I don't like the fume, I don't like anything that got to do with it, it might be a little bit overwhelming. Yes. And the second thing I really don't like about living in Spain is dog poop. Yeah, you heard me right. Dog poop. Yes. You see, I love dogs. I used to have a dog back then in my home country before moving here, and I discovered that Spanish people love their dogs as well, which is great. But unfortunately, not everyone cleans up after their pets. And in some areas, you really have to watch yourself because it's something that is so gross, and it's something that you might not notice quickly, especially in cities where people, or in remote areas or cities or places that are not always cleaned up, or how should I say it, cities or places that are not readily cleaned up as when due. Yes, especially during the winter time where everywhere is kind of raining, the ground is wet, some persons just leave the poop of their dog, and it's kind of been an unfortunate incident for me in several occurrences to see this poop and to have a not so pleasant experience. Yes. The next thing I really don't like about living in this country is the bureaucracy. Yes, Spanish bureaucracy, as people may know, it's nothing new. It's something that everybody comes, it's something that greets you firsthand upon your arrival to Spain. So there are formalities, there are always paperwork, there's always a queue, there's always somebody to meet. You talk about the appointments, come back tomorrow, the person, oh my gosh, the bureaucracy is something else. And sometimes you can't really get to do much on a phone call or with the customer care. You just have to be physical in some scenarios. So then, that is my own perspective. Of course, you might have it differently. And that leads us to the next point, which is the subtle racism. Yes, the subtle racism. Actually, I haven't, this one is a bit heavier though, but it's worth mentioning. With Spanish people, many of them are generally welcoming. Some people, especially from the minority backgrounds, have experienced subtle forms of racism. It might be a comment or an assumption or something meant to offend. It can feel uncomfortable. Spanish people are generally friendly. In my own perspective, I have experienced a first-hand experience of when a woman treated me like as though I was gonna take something from the supermarket. Like she saw me and I was gonna take the cart. I already picked some products from the shop. I was up, and when I saw that my hands were full, and I said, okay, let me go get a cart. As I was about to go get the cart to put the product, she ran after me as though I was gonna steal the product. I'm like, wow. So because does she think that I'm gonna steal, maybe because I'm black or something? I don't really tag that as racism, but then some people have some mixed feelings about seeing blacks or other nationalities. And some of friends who have just spoken to me who are from Mexico or South Americans say Spanish people do not like Mexicans or South Americans. I don't really know. I'm not a Mexican, and neither am I a South American. But then this is just something you should have in heart, that not everyone likes you, not everyone is going to be conducive with your presence. And that leads us to the next point, which is the noise level. Guys, you know that the Spanish people love fiestas. They love the parties, they love the celebration. There's always something going on each month in Spain, and this can seem to be loud. Yes, it's something like it's a culture shock for people who are like me, who like the solemn, the quiet environment. Spain has this high energy level that this is so social and lively. And if you're somebody that is noise sensitive, you might want to consider somewhere else or somewhere quiet within Spain. But then the noise level is not really what I really appreciate, because sometimes you can be in the bus, you can be somewhere and you're just trying to think, and people are just talking so loud without thinking what the other person is going through, or whether even in a public place. It's so considerably loud above what it should be. And the next thing I don't really like as for a person living in Spain is that the housing system is not really what I expected it to be, such that the competition is fierce. Yes, the competition is fierce. Lots of people moving on here to Spain, and then you have to compete with them. This is a new apartment I and my husband just got. Before now, we've been looking for an apartment for close to 6 months, if not 1 year. Like, it was crazy, guys. It's either there's a language barrier, or the price is too high, or then more people are willing to take the house, and you're just like, what am I gonna do? It got to a point that I told myself that this is something that we just need to let it go. If it will be, it will be. And that was how we got this apartment. That is just it. The housing system is something that I think the government should work on further. And the next thing is the limited customer service. Yes, customer service here in Spain can be very limited, because many shops close for siesta between 2 to 5 p.m. and some places aren't open on Sundays at all. Aside that, the customer service system is one that you have to be really assertive on. Like, you have to tell them what you want, tell them how you want it. And sometimes in cases where I've been to restaurants and the waiter or the person just gives you the menu and walks away, like I have to go and meet the person and be like, hey, you didn't take my order. And Then after eating the food, you have to call the person again and be like, hey, I want to pay. You follow them around and you just have to be assertive. The customer service is just like, they are doing well, but then I think they need to be more listening to the customers, listening to the best people that they are serving, not just serve them and just ignore them. Well, the next thing I really don't like about Spain is that it's hard to make friends. It's hard to make friends here. Most times people want to make friends with you. People are friendly, but they are actually friendly, but it's hard to break in social circles as a foreigner. People have lived long life friendships and close hinted relationships. So in making friends with such kind of persons is kind of difficult, except you are kind of in a meetup group, or you meet somebody maybe at work or at church or at school. Then it's a little bit easier. But then if you're trying to just navigate or find your way yourself, it's hard, because most people want to stick with the people they know. So then making friends here is kind of hard. Yes. So these are some of the things I really don't like about Spain. And the next point is the strike and protests. Yeah, actually, I thought my home country was actually best in strikes, but then the Spainards are kind of assertive. Their approach to their rights, that like they want something from the government, is always accompanied with strike or protest. It's a sign of democracy, but then it can be challenging if you have a trip, maybe the train staffs are on strike, the bus drivers are on strike, something is on strike, and you need the service of that thing, importantly, it can be challenging to find your way. So it disrupts your workflow, it disrupts your plans, and then it's just something you just have to get used to. Because I for one, I really love the Spainards, because they are outspoken and they can stand for their rights. They are not people that you can keep their mouth shut. Yes, they have every right to speak out when they don't like something. I wish my home country can be like that. While I love my country, most people tend to mind their business, and which is not so cool. And the next one is that small talks can be very, 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 very small. Yes, Spanish people, they love to be friendly and all that. They actually love small talks. And the next thing I really don't like about Spain is that the language barrier seems to get in the way of everything. Yes, the language barrier, in the sense that you want to get a job, you have to speak Spanish. You want to do anything, you have to speak Spanish. And if you're not getting an international job, it's kind of hard navigating to the language barrier. Right? I think the Spanish people are, I don't expect them to speak English. Of course, I'm in a Spanish speaking country, but then it's just my own way of saying, oh, I'm trying, but it's not so easy. Okay, so there you have it. There are other things that drive me a little bit more crazy about living here. Of course, I love it here, but then every place has its good side and bad side. And despite these annoyances, Spain is still an incredible country with so much to love. So if you're thinking to move in here, you're thinking to move this beautiful country, don't be discouraged. Okay, just get ready for a few surprises you may have along the way. Funny stories about life here, and that's just it. Okay, so my heart goes out to the Valencia community, and then I hope that you make that trip that you've been planning to Spain, and make that big move if you have it in mind to visit anytime soon. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and check the order of my videos where I have explained my personal experiences in various topics. Okay, well then, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate. Hasta luego. Adios.